I wanted to update you guys really quickly. I promise this will be fast. For those of you that are a part of my channel members, I'm going to be switching up how I do my channel members. I'm going to be deleting JV and I'm going to be moving Varsity as like my only channel member, if that makes sense. I'm gonna lower the price from, I believe it's $10 right now. I'm gonna lower it to $5. So for those of you who were in JV, you can just join Varsity. For everybody, it will just be the $5 and you will get access to everything. I just feel weird, and I've kind of always felt weird about doing tiers. I feel like there are some weeks I'm really bad at remembering to do the shorts, and honestly, there are some weeks I'm really bad at remembering to do the channel members videos. With my medications right now, I'm very back and forth with feeling good and feeling like shit. So I just wanted to make it easier, one, for everyone. And I don't like people not having access because they don't want to pay the extra $5. I just think that that's like crazy. I already hate having a paywall anyways, but like I've already explained like why I even started doing this. So I'm just gonna change it to make myself feel better. Because I just feel weird about it. I don't know. So again, I'm just gonna delete JV period. And then it's just gonna be Varsity. It's just gonna be the $5 and you'll have access to shorts and videos, channel member shorts and videos. So yeah, there's that. That was my little update. Yeah, let's get into the video. Today we are back on Reddit. I found this thread and honestly, I'm not really sure what to expect. It sounds really interesting, but I have a feeling this could get really dark. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a trigger warning now. I have a feeling some of these are going to be really heavy. Again, I don't know what to expect. I haven't gotten into the thread yet, but this says, what is the darkest secret you've learned about someone that instantly ended your relationship with them? I had a coworker who told me stories about how he used to steal money from his mom during his college years. His mom works in another country, and when it's time to pay for university tuition fees, he artificially inflates the price and pockets the difference. This went on for 4 years. Says he spends the money on women and gambling more often on women. His mom worked as a housemaid. He has no qualms telling the story as if it's funny. Looked at him differently from that point on. That's disgusting. Somebody actually replied to that and said, I had a friend who was being supported through college by his grandfather. The problem was, he wasn't in college. He would send the old man fake report cards. His grandfather was not wealthy. He was a working class immigrant who had escaped war and extreme poverty and was so proud because my friend, his grandson, was going to be the first college graduate in the family. When I found out, I dropped that friend fast. Dude, fuck these people. What the hell? Okay, and this is exactly what I mean. I kind of read into this next one, and it is getting dark really fast. My cousin broke down at school one day and confided in the counselor that she wanted to commit suicide because my grandfather had been molesting her for years. He was eventually convicted and went to prison for several years, but was granted early release during COVID. He has never admitted to his crime, and we suspect that she's not his only victim. My grandmother has stayed by his side and likely enabled him all that time, even if just by turning a blind eye. Essentially, the entire family shuns them now. I haven't spoken to either of them since I learned about it, and never will again. As far as I'm concerned, they might as well be dead. My cousin seems to be doing much better. Like, I know that it's the bare minimum to shun these fucking people, but you would be shocked at how many families will just turn a blind eye to it. Like, I am so sure that alone, like having your entire family back your cousin is so healing for them. And I'm so glad that they seem to be doing much better. Like, that's amazing to hear. That's just, oh my god, it's just truly fucking heartbreaking. It's just disgusting. My cousin, who I don't talk to much, was complaining to me about being treated like the black sheep of the family, and then went on to describe his falling out with another cousin, in which he hit on that cousin's teenage daughter, and he didn't understand why I cut him off after that. What? My friend Tommy had a friend, Brian, that I did not trust. I felt uneasy about him. I remembered him from parties maybe 10 years prior, but we were never friends. Tommy told me Brian had moved away for a bit, but was now back in town, and now Brian was watching Tommy's infant daughter while he was at work. Oh, I'm scared. Brian was always over at Tommy's house. I ended up Googling Brian and found out he had just been released from a lengthy prison sentence for his second offense of driving over state lines to meet up with underage girls for sex. I contacted the probation offices and CPS about the matter after I went nuclear on Tommy. The fact that he knowingly put his daughter in danger like that for free childcare was disgusting. Tommy said Brian was his friend and he would never do that to his daughter. We haven't spoken since that day. How the fuck could you even risk something like that happening? How could you even keep that person in your life knowing what they did? Good for you for cutting him off. Like, again, I know that's like bare minimum, but the fact that Tommy did not even cut Brian off after this man like quite literally went to prison. What is going on in your tiny little brain? Like, dude, this shit's gonna piss me off. I found out my brother had 2 families, 2 sets of kids, 2 wives. Like, how? Actually, how? Literally, somebody was like, these stories fascinate me. How long did he pull this off for? Were the families in the same town? How did you find out? Did the wives find out about each other? And if so, what happened? And I don't know if they responded. I like need to know. I'm scrolling through hundreds of comments. Probably not hundreds, but... Okay, wait, someone said, I broke up with my ex in January and he had previously done the 2 families thing. He married at 18 because he had gotten his wife pregnant. Immediately after the wedding, he joined the military. When he was 26 or 27 with 2 kids, he met baby mama number 2. He kept her happy and quiet for nearly 18 years. But when he refused to buy his affair daughter a car, baby mama decided to tell his wife the entire story. The craziest part for me was that he didn't view his affair daughter in the same way as the children he had had with his ex-wife. He also blamed his ex-wife and baby mama for the situation, even though he could acknowledge that he had himself done wrong. We broke up because he punched a wall after we were served by a male cashier in the supermarket, which apparently emasculated him. Okay, why would you be with this man knowing that though? 18 years. Keeping her quiet. Oh my god. 18 years of an affair. 18 years with a whole child. I just cannot even imagine the betrayal you would feel. I don't know. Like, your entire life's a fucking lie. My ex had a business as a makeup artist, and I looked it up one day on Yelp. It was full of reviews about her scamming her clients, including not showing up on their wedding day. I loved her, and I could have understood getting in over your head and being overwhelmed by it, but the catalyst was not showing up at a wedding when you pledged to, and leaving people in distress on an already very stressful day. That's a character issue, not a, I misjudged my capabilities on some things causing me to rob Peter to pay Paul. I could work with that provided there was a clear attempt to eventually make them whole and honest communication with them. But that was long ago, and I'm in a several-year relationship with someone I love and trust wholeheartedly. Somebody actually replied, and they'll say it better than I can, but they said it's crazy how knowing something like that can literally change your whole opinion of someone in an instant. Because, I mean, OP is so right. That is a character issue. I mean, you're just blatantly fucking people over and stealing their money, essentially. Just not caring about the outcome on their side, as long as you get paid and whatever. I feel like a lot of people would overlook that, especially if their partner went with the whole, like, I was in over my head, you know, I fucked up my schedule, whatever. I feel like a lot of people would overlook that as just an accident. It was a mistake. And the fact that you were able to just like see right through that based on the other reviews and whatnot, I mean, good for you, dude. My old roommate bragged about screwing over a close friend in a business deal and said it like it was clever. That kind of story tells you exactly how your turn would end eventually. Craziest thing is that I was so right about this because he pulled it again on another mutual friend 2 years later. If someone tells you that they're a bad person, you better believe them. Like, if they're willing to do that to one of your friends, they are more than willing to do it to you. She casually bragged about convincing a kid to commit suicide. I have never felt my heart harden so quickly towards someone. I still refuse to speak to that person to this day. I think she should be put in jail for it. Oh, I fully agree. I fully agree. And someone was like, isn't that a crime? And they said it is now, but it was only added within the last 10 years or so. Depending on when the situation happened, it could have been before it became law. Damn, dude. I have an uncle who somewhat recently killed a couple kids who were on the side of the road with car troubles because he was drunk driving. That's when I found out he had killed another person, drunk driving, 25 to 30 years prior, but didn't get jail time because she was also drunk and apparently crawling across the highway the time he hit her. I don't know, the whole thing made me very uncomfortable, but I haven't seen her talk to him or his side of the family since I found out the truth. A couple of fucking kids. Like, is he going to get in trouble for that? Like, oh my god. They said he was arrested for the newest incident, so they're aware of what happened. He's been in prison for it for a couple years now, as far as I know. Thank God. I had a friend in my mid-20s. She had a small clique of friends since school that I wasn't a part of, but she would share stories. Once, she told a story about how one of her clique friends was hitting on and teasing one of the Shire classmates until he eventually shared a dick pic, per her asking. They made sure to spread that picture across the whole school as a gag. Not sure what came out of that guy, but I think he was pretty traumatized. The worst part for me was that she, being in her mid-20s, was telling this story proudly as one of the most funny things she's ever done. It's so morally corrupt. I could never look at her the same, and we just stopped talking. I just don't even know what, like, some of these are just, I mean, I guess it's in the goddamn title. I just don't even know how these people exist. Like, these people are evil. Someone said the way she shared it, like it was a cool memory, is actually psychotic. No, fully. How do you do that to someone? How do you do that to someone? That's where I'm like, like, what has happened to you in this life to make you that soulless? Like, what the hell is, I feel like I'm saying fuck a lot, so I'm trying not to say fuck. I found out that my friend of 28 years was enabling and covering up her husband's very serious crimes against women. The first I knew of anything like this was when he was arrested, and then in conversations with her, it became clear she had known what he was up to for years. I felt very sick at the level of con job the two of them had done on everyone around them and the sort of people they were. I went to the police. I obviously don't know the extent of what he did, but the fact that you went to the police, like, good for you. 28 years of friendship. 28 years. Again, I just feel like feeling that betrayal from someone in your life who has been in your life for that long, that feeling alone, everything being a lie, everything feeling just wrong and fake, and you have no idea who these people really are. That is such a scary thing to experience. Was working at a shop for a while. During Christmas one year, one of my coworkers was talking about the gifts they had bought for their kids. iPads, iPhones, bunch of expensive shit. Directly after talking about the gifts, she squeezed in the fact that she was very smart and signed herself up for a low-income gift basket program so her kids could get more shit. They were very much middle class as her husband owned his own business. A week or so later, she made a comment to me about becoming a foster mom because the money is just so good. I disliked her for plenty more reasons than that, but God, she was something else. That is what scares me the most about, I think, our like foster system, is that people genuinely just think it's like a money grab, or like, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's like an easy way to get money, and then they just absolutely abuse and neglect the kids and their home. It's really scary and it's really fucking sad because these children, dear God, have endured enough, and then to be put in a home where they are only seen as extra money and like they don't give a shit about, like, I could literally cry talking about that. I had a friend / colleague who was like a father figure to me. I found out he was drunk at a work gathering one evening and became aggressive with a much younger female employee, trying to coerce his way into her hotel room. He was aggressive enough that other colleagues noticed and were trying to intervene. Dude was married as well. I lost complete respect for him the second I heard about the incident. He had never behaved in any remotely inappropriate way with me, so I was really shocked about the behavior. I heard about the incident from multiple people, so I know it wasn't made up. It was just bad vibes all around. It made me wonder how many times he's done something like this before to other women and was successful. He and his wife seemed happily married, but who knows what she was or wasn't aware of. I just don't even know what to say about that. Like, there's no excuse for that. I just don't even know what to say. And somebody replied, I don't think they insinuated at all that they were an alcoholic or like a recovering alcoholic in this post. I just read it. I didn't see any of that. But somebody did reply and they said, just to add for anyone who needs to be told, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I did plenty of fucked up things. I made plenty of mistakes. This person is just like a random commenter, by the way. Not once did any of those mistakes or fuck ups involve anything even close to SA. You don't SA people because you're an alcoholic, which is a tough disease. You SA people because you're a scum. And I know it's not necessarily directly correlated to the story, but like, I feel like that is really important. I do truly believe there are cases of addiction where it can completely alter who you are as a person. I've seen it myself. Somebody gets alcohol or drugs into their system and they just become a completely different person. Like, it's like you're not even talking to the same person anymore. Like, it's crazy. And I think that those people can do really horrific things that they would never do when they were sober. I think there's also instances where people just make a bad choice when they're drunk, and maybe it's something they potentially would have done if they were sober, like the alcohol just kind of like encouraged them to do so. I think there can be each, but I do not believe that alcohol or anything of the sort could make you SA someone unless you were fully capable of that sober. I just don't see that being reality. And so I think this comment is like kind of spot on. I'm also proud of you, by the way. Yeah, addiction is a really scary, really fucking nasty disease, and I'm proud of you for recovering from that. And I wish you the absolute best. There's this guy who told me casually that he purposely impregnated his ex because she wanted to break up with him. I was shell-shocked. Is that not like essay in itself? Had a guy that opened a restaurant with me. He was a line cook, I was a sous chef. We were there through test kitchen phase, actually putting the kitchen together, and finally opened. We ended up working together for years, and he became a good friend. He ended up moving away with a girl he met through me, and within a couple months they broke up. Turns out he was emotionally and physically abusing her. She left in the middle of the night. I called him and talked to him, and he didn't deny anything. I told him right there I couldn't be friends. I have a wife and 3 kids, 2 of them daughters, and I can't have people like that in my life. You are the company you keep. That right there. That last goddamn line, you are the company you keep. And like, that is the most normal response to have. Like, I have 2 daughters. Why would I want this person in my life who can treat women like that? That's the most normal reaction. That should be everyone's reaction right there. It shouldn't even take that. Like, you should be able to look at someone. You could be single with no children, no woman in your fucking family. I don't care. But like, you should be able to look at that and think, oh, that's horrible, I don't want this person in my life. But it like almost makes it worse. Like, if you were to have a wife and kids or sisters, a mom, whatever. I know everyone has a mom, but you know what I mean. You have all these women in your life, and like somehow there are people out there who can still justify staying friends with this. What is going on? I used to have a long distance friend that I met through other mutual friends. He seemed really cool at first, but then he broke up with his girlfriend and things seemed pretty nasty, but we never got the true story. Years later, we still keep in touch via text, and during COVID, we played a ton of Warzone together. He gets married to a different gal, tells us he's getting a job on a research base somewhere very remote, and wouldn't be in communication with anyone for a while, which we believed because he had a degree in geology. Eventually, something happened between him and his wife contacted us saying he lied about everything to everyone, including her. He wasn't going to work on a remote research base. He was going to jail for a bunch of domestic dispute-related charges against his old girlfriend, which is why the last girlfriend broke up with him. He even told his wife he was doing all of his interviews and meetings over Zoom for his new job, when in reality he was meeting with his lawyer and attending his court hearings online. This was during COVID, so a lot of things were done online as opposed to in person. Haven't talked to him since his wife dropped this bomb on us. Holy fuck. How do you even lie about that? I'm going to a remote research base. Brother, you're going to prison. To make up that lie. And here's my thing too. I can't lie to save my goddamn life. My OCD is so bad that if I'm telling somebody the most random story, I was telling my friend about a fucking grasshopper in her garage, and if I think one detail sounds off, I just poke myself in the eye. Like, I was like, oh, I opened your garage and it flew out, and then I was like, oh no, it was when I opened the door to the house it flew out. I have to correct myself, or in my brain I'm lying, which I know that's like, girl, get some help. I am. But like, to hold on to that lie, to make up that lie, to see the lie through, and then to have to live the rest of your life with this lie, like knowing that you are lying. Because what if you got away with this? You know what I mean? How do people do that? How do you live with these lies that you've told? How do you even keep up with that? Like, I'm like, oh, I got the detail wrong. It flew out actually when I got to the garage door to your house, not the big garage door. I'm like, I'm lying to you right now. And I have to like correct it in the moment, or else I'm gonna be fucking anxious and I'll text my friend later, by the way, it wasn't when I opened the garage, it was when I opened the door to your house. And she's like, what are you talking about? How do people lie? How do you lie? How do you do that? My husband and I were friends with our upstairs neighbor. We hung out at his place frequently. One of the neighbor's friends would hang out there all the time as well. Pretty mellow, quiet dude. Kind of a smaller guy who gave off a peaceful pothead vibe. His wife or girlfriend goes missing. He's genuinely concerned, crying about it at times. Tells us all the updates on the case, gets arrested, and lie detectored, is released. Time goes by and he stops showing up. He dropped his kid off with his parents and took off somewhere. He gets arrested again and the story comes out. He killed her. Never in 1,000 years would I have pegged him as a murderer. I know the boyfriend is always the first one they look at, but I'm still shocked. That is scary. That is really, really scary. Oh my god, they even linked like the news article. Oh my god. They said it was about 20 years ago. That would fucking stick with me. Oh, that would stick with me too. Okay, yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end. That's all I have for now. There are so many, actually, oh my gosh, I was gonna say there are so many stories, but I think I scrolled pretty much to the bottom of that thread. I was really into that. I'm not gonna lie, I did skip over probably like 50% of the stories because they were like about essay and like pedophilia, and I just didn't want this video to be full of that. Like, that's insane, and honestly I don't like reading those stories. Who does? I mean, I'm sure you guys don't want to listen to that. So I did skip over a lot of stories in here, but like for good reason, obviously. But that was insane. That was absolutely insane. I was gonna say if you guys have any stories that you want to share, but dear God, I hope you don't. I hope that you've never come into contact with anyone like this ever. Okay, yeah, that's a lot to process, so I'm gonna go. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.